Hello, and this is going to be a short one. I know you had the midterm last week, and I really wanted to just bring you this juicy stuff. This is such a juicy week. Well, the last 2 weeks prior to the midterm were also filled with so much information and so much respect for working people and what we've had to go through to get where we are today. This week we have the incredible situations of mill workers, both the factory workers in New York City, who are mostly women, mostly young women, immigrants, of course, Jewish and Italian mostly. Some men who are the extreme cutters, young women. We have the incredible and horrific Triangle Shirtwaist fire that came after, in 1911, came after the 1909 great walkout of thousands and thousands, primarily women, but textile workers. And they did win in 1909, as you will read. Some of them won better wages, better working conditions, union recognition. The Triangle Shirtwaist Company, however, refused. And there's a couple of YouTubes for you to look at with the information about the fire, about the many deaths. And I hope, I don't recall, but it should be in the book, that the owners never had to pay a fine. Niente, nada, zip, zero. And you will see the causes of these. So while the Shirtwaist fire is going on, I also have something about Frances Perkins, who was the very first woman, I think, Department of Labor by Roosevelt, and first woman, period. And she was involved as, I believe, a social worker, and she went and saw it. So you got her firsthand knowledge. Because of the work that she did after the fire, we then began to have some health and safety laws passed. So while over 150 young women and men, but primarily women, immigrants working for pennies died, the resultant fact is we have these laws. It seems like in America we have to have horrific tragedies for that have anything to do with working people before something happens that we're making a difference. Anyway, then along come, this is the beginning also of 1909. The mill strikes. Yes, the Lawrence mill strikes, when the IWW comes into fruition. And the IWW is this radicalized labor group, but it is not a union. And it's called the International Workers of the World. And they have a whole different way of looking at what workers should be able to do. And that the workers should really be in charge of the manufacturing on a level of the right, how much they should make, how they should be treated, what their rights are. And they are there for the people. And what's so amazing is you've got Joe Hill, you got Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, you got Mother Jones, you got Big Bill Hayward, you've got so many other Giovetti and Eder, people that sacrifice, basically these people sacrifice their life to go and speak to workers who were feeling so oppressed that they didn't even think they had a right to stand up. And Joe Hill, that was the whole Soapbox thing, where they would go into towns, right here in San Diego, go into town, stand on a soapbox, and start talking to people about their rights as human beings, as workers, and the workers should rule the world, and how they were beaten, thrown in jail, harassed, tarred and feathered, not boycotted, deported. And by the way, we did have states back then that you actually had to get into, had to show identification to do that. That's coming also in the future, especially if you've ever seen The Grapes of Wrath, you'll see it. Arizonians trying to get, Oklahomans trying to get through Arizona, trying to get into California. I'm talking really fast. And it's just such an exciting time period that impacted the working people. And your discussion this week is based on the IWW. So you'll got a bit of reading this time, a couple of clips, and that's it. Have a wonderful week. I hope you are totally inspired by what these people did for others. I don't want to call them martyrs because it has such an overtone of people sacrificing just to be looked at as well. But if you notice, if you can feel the fervor of these men and women as they talk and as they do the things that they do, and even the women marching online, 16-year-old women getting shot, getting beaten because they want to be treated with respect. They believe that they should be able to go to the toilet. They believe they should be able to organize. They believe that there should be exit doors. They believe a lot of these things, and they're willing, and they do die for it. So I'm interested in any of your comments. I look forward to reading this discussion, and have a good week. Talk to you next week.